Well, good morning, Miss Bennett. I've come to have another chat with Tracy Morris.
Yes, I'll get her.
Unless, of course, you have something else to tell me.
No, it was just that, well, I was thinking over your offer.
And?
Well, we must help the police all we can, mustn't we? It's part of the job.
Well, I'm sure that with you and I on her trail, she won't hold out for long.
Yes, I see. Yes, very well. I'll tell him. Goodbye. Well, apparently Jones is not the only one you've alienated. That was Mrs. Hampshire. Danny jumped out of the car when she stopped at the traffic lights. He's run away again. Mr. Fletcher, you will be responsible for telling Jones. After this, I doubt very much whether Danny will ever risk visiting his mother again.
The police are only going to keep coming back until you decide to tell them the truth. They're not going to say how virtuous you are for protecting a friend, if that's what you think. But maybe there wasn't a friend. You could easily have smuggled that heroin in all by yourself.
I thought it was gold. It's true.
Nobody's going to believe that until you stop covering up. What are you afraid of, Morris?
Nothing.
Then you should be. You can stay here or in your cell. If I were you, this may be safer.
What do you mean?
The cells are so isolated, that's all. Accidents have been known to happen before. At least that's what we're led to believe. Take Smith, for instance. She may be in solitary, but she still manages to have her lackeys do any dirty work for her. And you know how she feels about people who deal in drugs.
I thought it was gold.
Then all you do is tell the police who you were smuggling for, and you'll be out on bail. This isn't a boarding school, Morris. You're mixing with murderers, drunks, thieves, prostitutes, scum. But maybe you're used to that sort of company being involved with drugs.
I'm not. I'm innocent.
I started working in prisons when I was about your age. And some of the vilest types have been sent here, and they've all got one thing in common. They think they're above the law. But they soon learn. Even the toughest of them break, sooner or later. It's just a pity that you're one of the types who has to learn the hard way.
Hang it all, Meg. I was only trying to help the boy. I didn't set out to hurt him or his mother.
I know.
I didn't want to see him in a home any more than she did, even if it was only for a couple of months. But at the time, it seemed the only solution.
Is Linda all right?
Oh, yeah, sure. It's the one that she didn't hit me. Not that I'd blame her. I'm just the bloke who's responsible for a 12-year-old son wandering the streets.
Surely Linda would have some idea of where he'd go.
She wouldn't tell me, even if she knew. I mean, why should she trust me any more than her son does?
Why don't you try and find out what school he goes to?
I already have. He hasn't shown up there. Though the last time that Danny visited his mother, he did say something about staying with a mate. If I could just find out...
Well, if he's staying with someone, he's probably all right.
I know he's got a paper round somewhere out near where he lives. It's a starting point.
Look, Jim, why don't you just leave it alone?
I got him into this mess, Meg. The least I can do is try and get him out of it.
He's one of the inmate's sons. You've already got yourself far more involved than you should.
Look, don't you start lecturing me, please. I've got to find him.
Well, as long as it's for the right reasons.
What do you mean?
I just want you to be careful, Jim. You can become very attached to a child.
Nothing can replace my sons, Meg, if that's what you're thinking. Not even for a second.
Dora and me had it all worked out. We was going to be a family. The three of us. She was really looking forward to that baby. It oughtn't to have happened to her, Jude.
I know, but sometimes these things are meant to happen, honey. It's like nature's way of saying something's wrong, you know?
Doreen will have others.
The doc reckons she'd be lucky to have any more.
What do doctors know anyway? It's only one opinion.
Yeah.
Phyllis, are you interested in placing a little bet with me? I'm offering double on what Margot paid out when she was running the book. It's only open for the first 5 backers. Be worth you getting in on the ground floor, don't you think?
you can make a killing.
Why so generous?
Just a matter of building up goodwill.
Yeah, the only goodwill you could build up is by dropping dead.
The women can make up their own minds. You're not running this place.
No, I'm not. Bee is. But I'm seeing that her orders are carried out.
Bee's in solitary.
Oh, I know that. And I have a pretty good idea how she and Margot got there.
I'm offering double for the first 5 backers.
How are you going to do that? Now, the last I heard, you only had $5. Either you can't add up or you don't intend to pay up.
White, I've got a job for you.
Oh, Miss Bennett, can I go and see Dora?
You saw her this morning.
Yeah, I know, but I want to make sure she's all right.
Of course she's all right. Now go back and do some work for a change. Don't just stand there, White. Get moving.
That bloody woman's going to push me too far one of these days.
Then what are you going to do? Beat her to death with your knitting?
Beat her at her own game.
Hey?
You know, every time those two get together, somebody gets the chop.
I hoped you get at Bee and Margot, didn't I? Why pick on me all the time?
Because you have a talent for conning people, White.
What's in it for me?
An easier time of it in here. Or I could see that you stay put in the laundry with dregs like Bryant. And Smith won't be in solitary forever.
There wouldn't be a reward for information now, would there?
Don't be ridiculous. I'm only doing my job. And you're going to help me. If you leave one speck of dust lying around, I'll have you on report.
Look, I said I was sorry. Isn't that enough?
You've got to learn not to answer back to the officers, White. Is that understood?
Yes, Miss Bennett.
On your feet, Morris. How touching. It's a wonder you didn't warn your father. The police want to speak to him.
I told them he had nothing to do with it.
They seem to think otherwise. It'll be interesting to hear what he brings back to Australia. Or does he only get his daughter to bring the drugs back for him?
No!
That bitch got it in for you, too, huh? What's the matter?
I just didn't think anyone was coming in here.
Hey, I'm not going to bite you.
Are you a friend of Bee's?
Look at me. The best thing Miss Bennett ever did was get Bee Smith put into solitary and off my back. Pity she couldn't do the same to herself. Not much fun being in here, is it? You know, they shouldn't put women on remand in the same place as these people. It's not fair. Some of them got records a mile long. I should know. I was on remand. It was my first offense. But by the time Bee Smith and Judy Bryant and all their mates got through with me, I ended up with 5 years. You stay well away from them, do you hear? Or you might end up in here for life. Letters are censored, you know. Be awful to dob in your own dad.
He doesn't even know I'm in prison.
I'm just going on what Miss Bennett said.
Well, they're wrong. They're all wrong.
It's none of my business. Tracy, why doesn't he know?
He was meant to be in Hong Kong, but he must have gone somewhere without letting the office know. Well, he travels for about 6 months of the year, and it's really hard keeping up with him.
What's he in? Politics?
Imports and exports. He's got his own business.
Look, why don't you just save yourself a lot of trouble and tell the police who set you up? All right, but I know who's going to freak if she spends too much time in here.
Dad'll know what to do.
Dad? He can't help you in here. But then again, he might be able to make it easier for you. Now, take women like Bee and Judy. They might leave you alone if you had something they wanted.
But Judy seems all right. I mean, she stood up for me the other day when Bee
Those two are like that. And they're very dangerous. But if you had something you could buy them off, protection, like money or drugs.
I'm not into drugs.
All
I've
right,
told you.
all right, money then. Your father must be rolling in dough. Surely he could smuggle some into you. Take me, for example. I'm broke. They'd leave me alone if I could buy them off.
Is it really that bad?
I don't know how much more I can take.
Well, if I can help, maybe we could help each other.
What are you doing in here, White?
Miss Bennett told me to come in and clean up.
Well, you're not exactly throwing yourself into your work, are you? I think I'll just stay here until you do.
Would you see that these are sent to the nursery, please, Sally?
Where did these come from?
Doreen.
Oh. Well, I hope we're not going to have to put up with too much more of her erratic behavior.
Not if we're understanding and keep an eye on her.
Too much sympathy will only make her worse. She'll probably want to spend the next few weeks in bed.
Well, Jim's just taken her to the recreation room.
What?
Surely even you couldn't expect her to go straight back to work, Vera.
Excuse me. My name's Morris. My daughter, Tracy, I'd like to see her, please.
Yes, certainly. If you just sign up here, please.
Just a moment, Mrs. Jackson. Has Inspector Grace spoken to you, Mr. Morris?
Well, yes, he has, as a matter of fact.
Well, does he know you're here?
I assume so.
Then you won't mind if I check with him.
Look, madam, I don't know what business it is of yours, but he met me at the airport with half the drug squad. I've been questioned and harassed. My luggage has been searched inside and out, and I find my daughter is in prison on a drug charge. Now, I think I've taken just about enough for one day, so if I don't see my daughter in 1 minute, I'll be the one making the phone call, and it will be to someone with a bit more authority than your Inspector Grace.
Keep away from her. She's a friend of Bee's.
What's the matter with her?
She's mad. She shouldn't even be in here.
But she's only about my age.
She's a recidivist. You know, in and out of prison since she can remember.
She seemed all right the other day.
Oh, why do you think they've got an officer watching her? Look, the sooner you get out of here, the better. Is this friend really that important to you?
Come on, White.
You've got a visitor, Morris? It appears your father's arrived earlier than expected. And I'm sure he's fascinated to hear your side of the story.
I'm sorry, Dad. I didn't want to get you in trouble. I tried telling them. I didn't know what was in that parcel. Please, just take me home.
It's all right, darling. We'll try to sort it out.
I'm afraid I'll have to ask you to sit down, Mr. Morris.
I'm just trying to write to you. Dad, I'm so scared.
Take it easy, darling. The police told me what happened.
Yeah, but they don't believe me.
Well, I do. And you've never lied to me before.
Can't you just talk to them? Please take me home.
Tracy, you've got to tell the police everything. Now, all right, you thought you were smuggling in gold. Now, that's still an offense, but it's far less serious than heroin. Darling, what possessed you? I mean, you've always had everything you wanted. Now, was it for kicks or what? Look, if we can prove that you didn't know there were drugs, we've got a good chance of getting you out of this. But you've got to tell them who gave you that parcel.
I can't. I just can't.
Look, darling, I know we haven't always seen as much of each other as we should have done. But still, we've been close, haven't we? And we've always trusted each other.
Dad, that's what I want you to do. I want you to trust me.
Tracy,
No.
I can't help you unless you meet me halfway.
Yes, you can. Dad, I need some money. I've got to have it.
Oh, it's against regulations. All money has to be handed in at reception.
Yes, of course. How much do you want?
I'm afraid you don't understand. The money is only to buy essential items, and there is a limit on how much she can have.
But I need it. I've got to have it.
But why, Tracy?
I don't know. I just thought I'd need it.
Judging by what I saw, I think it's a mistake to keep Burns in the recreation room. It's only giving her more time to wallow in self-pity.
Do you have a better suggestion, Miss Bennet?
She could go to the laundry. Of course, I don't mean she should work, but at least she'll be with her friends, and we can watch her just as well in there.
Very well. I see no harm in that. Thank you for your concern.
I'm only doing my job, Mrs. Davidson.
Oh, Mrs. Davidson, Tracy Morris's father's here. He'd like to speak to you.
Certainly.
Mr. Morris? Mrs. Davidson.
Mr. Morris,
Thank you for seeing me.
please sit down.
Thank you. I've just spoken to my daughter, Mrs. Davidson, and as far as I can gather, she's been frightened out of her wits.
Yes, well, she was very upset, but she wouldn't tell us what was wrong.
Being imprisoned for the first time is traumatic for anyone, Mr. Morris, especially for someone of your daughter's age. It's probably just a reaction.
She's all I've got, and if anything happens to that girl...
I do understand your concern, Mr. Morris, but worrying isn't going to help you or Tracy.
Ever since her mother died, I've seen she's had the best of everything. Granted, she's had too much done for her. That's probably what got her into this mess. She's never had to think for herself before. But I know my daughter, and I say she's terrified.
Well, there are several reasons for that, Mr. Morris. She's facing serious charges. She's in a totally different environment from one she has been used to. And there is the possibility, and I repeat, possibility, that there was no friend, and Tracy knew exactly what she was doing.
Oh, and Dor, you can just make yourself comfortable, and you can watch us while we work.
Oh, that'll be a thrill for the day. Well, Lizzie does it all the time, doesn't she?
Oh, I folded more sheets than a whole lot of you all put together.
Listen, honey, you sure you wouldn't rather lie down?
No, I'd rather be here with all of you.
Well, I tell you what. When you get sick of watching us, you can watch Mr. Fletcher watching us.
I just wish he'd stop following me around.
Oh, if he wants to be nursemaid, let him.
Yeah, but it gives me the creeps. I'm okay, honest.
Not everybody has a screw tagging along after him, and I bet that if you asked for something special, you'd get it. Like watching the midday film or getting cooked to make you something nice.
Yeah, well, I didn't want to stay in the rec room anyway, because there was just that new girl and Kay there. And Bea said that we weren't supposed to be talking to Kay. Well, not that I would have, anyway.
So that's what Vera wanted her to do.
What, cleaning?
Tracy. Now, why would Vera want her to hang around Tracy? What were they talking about?
Well, I don't know. But they didn't have much chance, because Fletcher was watching all the time.
Yeah, now we're lumbered with him.
Well, I'm sorry.
We better find out what Vera wants with that kid. And fast.
Come on, ladies, you can talk just as well while you're working, you know.
Not with you hanging around, we can't bust her.
Come up with anything yet?
Wherever Doreen goes, Fletch goes.
Yeah. Well, Fletch will know that something's up if Dor asks to go back into the rep room.
Not if Mrs. Jackson thinks it's a good idea.
So all we got to do is get Dor to keep Kay and Tracy apart until we can get Kay back in here with us.
Well, thank you. I just wanted to make sure that he wasn't lying. But assuming he is the one behind his daughter, then he wouldn't necessarily smuggle anything in himself, would he? I see. No, I haven't been able to find out anything yet. But a girl with her background will want her home comforts as soon as possible. She's going to get sick of playing games. Don't you worry about that. Well, my pleasure. Thank you. What are you doing creeping up on me like that?
Who are you talking to, Vera?
Well, Inspector Grace, if you must know.
Have you been pressuring Tracy Morris?
Of course not. I treat her the same as all the others. Unless, of course, you want me to be soft on her because she's from a so-called respectable family.
She's scared, Vera. Now, at first I thought it could have been for a lot of reasons, but now I'm beginning to wonder.
I was giving her some sound advice, which is usually your area, isn't it?
Have you any idea why she'd ask her father for money?
Well, how would I know?
She wouldn't be thinking of paying off a certain officer who'd been giving her a hard time.
I have never been dishonest in my life, so don't you ever accuse me of extortion.
All right. But why the sudden interest in helping the police?
I've got work to do.
It'll look good on your record, wouldn't it, Vera? I mean, you could be in line for a promotion. Not here, but somewhere else. Come in.
Oh, there you are, Mrs. J. I've got to talk to you about Dor.
Yes, Lizzie.
She's been stuck in the laundry. I know she's not working and she likes having us around her. But the heat and all, it's not doing her any good. She needs a bit of peace and quiet.
I thought she was supposed to be in the recreation room.
Mrs. Davidson thought it might help if she was with friends.
She needs to have her mind taken off things, like watching a bit of telly or something. I mean, that black hole where we work, it's enough to drive anyone to drink.
All right then, Lizzie.
Oh, thanks, Mrs. J. And may I get her a few things out of her room to cheer her up?
Yes, fine.
Thank you.
Of all the stupid bloody... Look, you don't ask for anything in front of those grey nurse sharks, let alone money.
I didn't think.
At least you didn't tell them why you wanted it.
Well, what do we do now?
Do you have anything of value in your cell?
They took almost everything.
No, I mean good things like perfume, underwear, pretty things. Some of these women have been in here for so long, they're making do from the rag bag.
I'll have a look.
All right. So what did your father have to say for himself?
He was too upset to even be angry.
Listen, Tracy, if I'm going to stick my neck out for you, you've got to start trusting me, okay? I want to know what I'm getting myself in for and why.
How's it going? Get away from me. What?
You heard her. Get back to your padded cell.
All right, White, that's enough. If you're finished in here, you can get back to the laundry.
What's she been saying to you? Please just leave me alone.
You know, if she's been sucking up to you, you better watch out, because she's only nice to people when she wants something.
I'll take over now, Mr. Fletcher.
With pleasure.
Perhaps you'd be better off lying down, Burns.
No, I'm feeling real good now, Miss Bennett. It's only a few minutes to lunch anyhow.
I believe you've been imagining things, Morris. You should be more careful. Or maybe a day in solitary would help you see things more clearly. You'll come back here this afternoon and you'll do this again, White.
Did you find it?
Nothing. She must have it on her.
Yeah, well, if she does, we're going to be in trouble. Look, somebody check my bed. She may have thought to hide it in there. Come on. Looking for a needle in a haystack. There.
Oh.
Bingo! Oh. Beauty.
Wait, we're gonna miss her.
Yeah, hang on a minute. Now, haven't you girls ever heard of a condemned woman having a final meal? I think we can wait until after lunch. You won't believe it.
Hey, Dick, do you want to place the bet? I'm thinking of taking over the book.
Oh, where'd you get any money?
What I found.
Oh, pennies from heaven.
Yeah, I was just walking past the cell, see, and a desk leg happened to kick it out to me.
Bloody bitch, that's mine.
Finders keepers.
Give it back.
Make me, big mouth.
Break your...
Come back here. Now, what started all this? Well, those two stockheads.
Hang on, honey. We want to keep out of this.
Well, you know what a shocking temper she's got. She just flew off the handle for no reason.
Yeah, I know who ought to be in the padded cell. Will you listen to me, Sheila? Will you just listen? I had nothing to do with the social welfare coming round to see you, and I'm sorry. Oh, but you've got to help me find Danny. I'm only allowed one phone call, so could you just do some checking for me? Yes, he's got a friend, does the paper round with him. Mark Noonan. Now, I don't think they're on the phone, and I don't know where they live, but Danny says he's with him. Could you see if you could find him for me? What do you mean you can't? You're the one he ran away from in the first place. Hello? Hello, Sheila?
Come on, Linda.
Jones, please, if you just
You
let me...
just leave me alone and stay away from my son. I hope to God you pay for what you've done to us.
Well, at least I've got a name to work on.
Jim, don't you think you're getting
G'day, Mrs. Jackson.
Long time no see.
Well, I thought we'd seen the last of you, Kathleen.
Yeah, well, you know what it's like. No matter how hard you try, the cops never leave you alone.
Drunk and disorderly, and causing damage to private property.
It wasn't my fault. I didn't know the punch was laced. I thought it was real fruit juice. Great party, though, 6-1.
Oh, keep your nose clean. Righto. Come on, let's do your fingerprints.
Looking forward to a bit of a holiday for 4 weeks, though. Gets a bit hectic on the outside, if you know what I mean.
Certainly have got a lot of stamina, Leach.
Yeah. Heard Tracy Morris is inside.
You know?
Yeah. Wouldn't believe it, would you? Wrong side of the tracks. No, I knew her in primary school before she went to one of those rich bitch private affairs. Still can't blame her, I suppose. Any chance of getting in the same block?
It's possible.
Funny, isn't it? No matter how much bread you got, you can still end up in the rock pile. Be good to talk over old times with her.
Hey, what do you want, Screw?
Where'd you learn an expression like that?
You live around here, you can spot a uniform a mile off.
Well, listen, I'm looking for the Noonans. You wouldn't know where they are, would you?
Yeah, Mum be at work and Dad be down the pub.
Ah, so you must be Mark, eh?
Hey, I never done nothing.
Hey, I never said you did. That's a great bike you got there.
Paid for it out of me own money.
Oh, yeah? Must have taken quite a few paper rounds to pay for it, eh?
How'd you know that?
When you live out my way, you can spot a hard worker a mile off.
Listen, I heard that you and Danny Jones share the same paper round.
Could do.
Oh, his mum said he was staying with you.
Don't know why she'd say that.
What do you mean he's not here?
No room.
Do you know where he's staying?
Nope, haven't seen him in days.
Oh, yeah, but you must have some idea where he is, eh?
Go, jump, Screw.
How's the gang, Mrs. Jackson? Doreen and Lizzie still going strong?
You'll catch up on all the news when you see them. Now hurry along.
Suppose Bee's still ruling the roost?
At the moment, she's in solitary.
Must be slipping. Who's big boss now?
Nothing's changed. Mrs. Davidson's still in charge.
Reckon Tracy's having a hard time, especially what she's been used to. Place will drive her stark raving mad.
Well, she'll survive. Now move it along, Kath. And don't forget to wash your hair.
Oh, yeah.
I never told him nothing, Danny, but you better watch out. He's a mean-looking bloke. Yeah. Hey, how come this is all I get? I did your paper round for you. Do you know that's my 10% commission? Yeah, I get that. Watch out, Danny!
You settle down, but I'm not going to hurt you.
Me
go. I'm not going anywhere with you, you creep.
I'm going to take you to see your mother.
You're not going to turn me in?
No, Danny. I promise you, you're not going to any home. Oh! Danny!
Right. Now the Hockey Championships are about to start with a number 12. Did you love it? I thought it was pretty good myself. Excuse me. Right in the middle of the game. Here we go for the second one, and it's a 13. Okay, Dora, I'm playing well. It's your turn.
I don't see why Lizzie and Phyllis have to stay in their cells while she's still in here.
Oh. Well, you can guess why, can't you? At least she's on the laundry duty where we can keep an eye on her. Oh, bad luck indeed.
How can anyone think straight with someone standing over you all the time?
Hey, take it easy, will you?
I'm sick of it. They'd do anything to make us miserable. Break us. Isn't that what you call it, Miss Bennett?
You watch your tongue or you'll be put on report, Jones.
It's okay.
See what happens to you? It gets to everyone after a while, even the tough ones.
But you seem able to look after yourself.
If you don't stand up to them, Tracy, they'll walk all over you. If you're weak, you've got to buy them off. You better think up something fast.
Hey, Tracy, you better be careful. She's liable to have a wobbly any minute.
Why don't you shut up, you great big bag of wind?
Why don't you shut up, or this bag of wind's going to go off in your face?
Be quiet, Brian.
Oh, shut up. Just shut up, all of you.
You better not have been speaking to me, Burns.
Oh, I want to go to my cell, Miss Bennett.
You didn't answer me.
No, Miss Bennett.
All right, get moving.
Doreen, g'day.
It was just a matter of time, wasn't it, Leach?
Well, it looks like I've arrived just in time for a wake, that's for sure.
Sorry. I'm Judy.
Hi, Kathleen.
How are you, Kathleen? Come meet the girls. This is Gladys.
Hi.
Irene here. Linda.
Hello.
That's Robin.
You're right.
And this is little Tracy.
Hi.
You can forget her. She doesn't exist.
Hey, what's wrong with her?
Oh, I don't know. Must be the excitement, I guess. No, you don't, sweetheart. You're staying put. You plan on going away for the weekend, eh? Can I come in?
Please yourself. Everyone seems to do what they want around here.
Yeah, well, I guess some of them forget their ladies, huh?
I was just checking to make sure nothing was missing.
Well, if ever anything is missing, you just come and tell me and I'll get it back for you. Huh. You got some real nice things here.
You can take whatever you want. Take it all, but please don't hurt me.
I'm not going to hurt you. For crying out loud, what sort of person do you think I am?
But Kay said that you were a friend of Bee's, and, well, I know what she thinks of me.
But nobody's going to hurt you, Tracy. Not Bee, not Kay. Okay? Actually, I did want to have a little talk with you. I just want you to know that I believe you didn't know you were smuggling in drugs.
You mean it?
I think I'm a pretty good judge of women. I've been conned by some of the best of them. You know something? I'm in for bringing in drugs for a friend. Just like you. Only I knew what I was doing. Yeah, I found out too late that my friend wasn't worth it. You see, nothing's worth getting stuck in here for. You, in love with that fella?
What makes you say that?
Well, you wouldn't have done it for money, so that means you had to have been forced, or did it because you were in love?
Why is everyone so interested?
Tracy, this place destroys people. I've always been too late before, that's all.
There was a man, Joe. But I can't tell you anymore.
Why not? I mean, what sort of guy would let you take the rap for him?
Now I remember you, Tracy Morris. We used to go to school together about 10 years ago. Well, we weren't in the same class. We did sports together. Who was that friend of yours? You know, oh, we couldn't split you.
Sandy?
Yeah, that's her.
Well, as much as I'd like to stay and chew the fat, you know, it's time for my bust exercises. Yeah, well, I'll see you later, Tracy.
Do you still keep in touch with her?
I'm sorry, but I don't know who you are.
Boy, we had fun. I never thought I'd be in the clink with you, though. Must have been the school. I've got a message for you from Joe. Now, he sends his love and it's $100.
You know Joe.
Well, let's just say I agreed to a 4-week holiday to see that you're okay.
But how?
Just listen. Joe and his boss are going to see you right. They just want you to play it cool. Now, stick to your story and keep your mouth shut about everything else.
What are you two waiting around for? This isn't a bus stop. Now get moving.
I think the other day I was waking up to the sound of birds.
Yeah, well, we still are, but this time it's the screech of vultures.
If you're not out of there in 30 seconds, you can do without a shower. I'd like a word with you later, White.
How'd you go?
What?
With the treasure hunt.
I haven't got anything.
Maybe I should take a look.
You've been having me on. No one's going to touch me.
You've changed your tune since last night.
Well, Judy said I'd be all right.
I don't see Judy here now.
Would you get out?
But I thought we were going to stick together.
I don't believe you any...
Just shut up, or I'll break it. That's better. Now, you were saying?
All right, I lied. I've got some money. I'll get it for you.
And I thought you were honest. And don't go running to Judy, either. I've got someone with a bit more pull on my team. And I'm sure Miss Bennett wouldn't want anything to happen to me. Hello, Linda. Heard any news about your son? They'll find him. You know, it must be hard supporting a child when you're out of work. Be even more difficult when you're on the outside.
I'll manage.
You know, if you come back inside once more, they could take him away from you for good. What you need is a nest egg. And there's plenty more where that came from. You were Margot's runner. I want you to be mine. All you got to do is spread the word the book's open for business. And what I said still goes. The first 5 backers get double the odds if they win. And you can tell them you know I've got the money to pay up. Is it a deal?
Oh, Miss Bennett. Have you heard anything yet?
Well, it's a bit late to worry about him now. You should have worried about him before you got put in here. How are you getting on with Morris?
It's a bit hard now I'm back in the laundry.
You wouldn't be if it wasn't for your little tantrums. I think I'm just about running out of patience with you, White.
I'm doing all I can.
It's not working.
Well, you're not doing much better.
Any more insubordination, I'll see you lose your privileges.
If you want something on Tracy, go search a cell, Miss Bennett.
Right.
Hey, listen, mister, you better stop pestering me or I'll tell the cops.
You know where Danny could be hanging out?
You mean he gave you the slip?
Listen, you're going to give me some straight answers this time.
I checked with me dad about you, Screws. You can only push people around in the poker. You can't do nothing out here.
Did he also tell you I could turn you into welfare for harbouring a runaway, eh?
What you gonna do to him?
I just want to talk to him, Mark. Just talk. All right, I've had enough of you. Come on.
Hey, wait. I know a few places he could be.
I don't think you are aware of the seriousness of the situation. Any form of smuggling is completely forbidden, and to have that amount of money lying around would only lead to trouble.
You asked your father for money. Did he give it to you?
No. I was in the interview room. There was no way he could have given her that money.
I brought it in myself. I had it all the time.
Very well, Morris. This will be confiscated, and you will be suitably punished. I shall also have a word with your father to make sure he's aware of the regulations.
But he didn't know.
Thank you, Miss Bennett.
Come on, Morris.
Oh, I don't think he'd be responsible.
Perhaps not, but he's used to giving her her own way. How is she settling in?
I'm not certain. She's a difficult one to get to know.
Oh, by the way, I received your message about Jim. Did he say what was wrong with him?
It just sounded exhausted. It's probably run down.
got you.
Let me go, you pig.
Listen, I said I'm taking you to see your mother, and I meant it.
Liar.
If I have to drag you there, I will, but first you need a bit of spit and polish.
Well, what do you care what happens to me anyhow?
Your mother's worried sick. Don't you care about that?
I wouldn't write to her.
Written. When was the last time you had a square meal?
I was doing okay.
Eat. We're not leaving here till you clean that up.
Why don't you hit me? God, I just dare you. That's what you screws are good at, isn't it?
Come on, Morris. You've got a long way to go yet.
I'd be a lot faster if I could use a mop.
Well, that'd be too easy. You've missed some. Do it again.
Oh, my knees are aching.
You're just not used to hard work. That's your trouble. Too busy rushing around socializing. I know the type. You've never known what it's like to have to earn a decent living. All you've had to think about is relieving the boredom and having a good time. Well, I'll see that you're not bored in here. It mightn't be as much fun, but you'll get used to it. Tears don't work in here. If you tell me who gave you that money, it might help make life
Miss
easier.
Bennett, any chance of being able to make a phone call?
Mrs. Jackson is the officer of the day. Get her permission.
Thanks. Hey, Trace, when you get out of here, I'll introduce you to a friend, Joe. A real dish. You two should get along fine.
Get moving, Leach, or you could find yourself joining her.
Right, Birdsworth. 2 bars of chocolate, carton of cigarettes, packet of biscuits, 2 of sweets.
Could you send Morris to the interview room, please, Miss Barfield? I'm allowing Mr. Morris to have extra visits, Mrs. Jackson. He's going to try to convince Tracy to cooperate with the police.
I'll let the other duty officers know.
She's always been stubborn, but I didn't think she was stupid. I can't believe she didn't understand how serious this is.
Well, she could be relying on you too much to get her out of it.
Yes, well, I can't do the impossible.
But does she know that?
Good luck, Mr. Morris.
Thank you, Mrs. Davison.
I'll take you to the interview room.
Thank you.
Mrs. Jackson? Could you get one of the officers to take his mother to the garden, please?
I'm glad to see you're feeling better, Mr. Fletcher. Hello, Danny.
You sent him after me?
Not quite, but I'm glad to see you're all right.
Yeah, well, I was till he come after me.
Carry on, Mr. Fletcher.
Sit down.
Now, I've got one of the best barristers in Melbourne, but he's not going to be able to help you any more than I can if you insist on playing games.
I am not playing games.
Then what are you mixed up in, Tracy? What are you afraid of? Did you know about the drugs?
No.
Look, yesterday you said you wanted money. Today you've suddenly got some. Who gave it to you? The same person who gave you the drugs? Are they paying you to keep quiet? Is that it? Look, all the money in the world couldn't make up for the years you could spend in prison.
I will be all right.
You won't be all right. Look, you're in over your head, Tracy. All your life I've tried to protect you. Telling you to close your eyes and it'll be better in the morning because I'll fix it. Well, I'm doing my best, but there is a limit.
Look, I'll be all right if you can get me out of here, away from people like her. Dad,
Morris,
she's trying to
that's
drive
enough
me
of that.
insane.
What are you doing?
She's always there.
Just
She's
separate.
hideous to me.
There's no physical
Please,
contact.
Dad, get her away from me.
He's been missing school, wandering the streets. Tell your mum where you spent last night, Danny. It was under the bridge, but you find a park this time.
Oh, Daddy. I'm not going in no home. If you put me in one, I'm just going to keep running away.
I told you that wouldn't happen, and I meant it.
Sheila won't have him back now. Where else can he go?
Look, sit down for a minute. Look, if you both agree, Danny can stay with me until you're out of here.
Stay with you.
That's right.
He's a bully, Mum. I've been in his place. Had me cleaning up as soon as I got in the front door. He's a slave driver.
You'd do that for us?
I'd like you to stay with me, Danny.
After what I said to you?
Well, it doesn't look like we've got much choice, does it?
Probably be better off in a home.
Yeah, well, that's up to you. Look, Danny, I think we can work out all right, if you'll give me a fair go.
Danny?
Yeah, okay.
You don't think I'm just going to let the matter drop there, do you? I want to know what's been happening to my daughter.
The explanation's simple. Your daughter doesn't like being in prison. Not many people do. She should have thought about that before breaking the law.
It's more than that, and you know it. She's really scared, and you seem to be the major reason. Now, why is that?
Haven't you got something to do? Just what is it you're accusing me of?
I just want to be sure she's being treated fairly.
She's being treated like any other criminal.
Why, you...
Now, Mr. Morris, I have a job to do.
I find your attitude completely inhuman.
Your opinion is of no importance in here.
I'm warning you. If you harass her, you'll have me to answer to.
Any time you want to lodge an official complaint, you're perfectly free to do so. But a word of warning. You better have something more to go on than that disgusting emotional display your daughter just turned on for us.
I can't take any more of this. If Joe really loved me, why isn't he doing something about it?
Joe was worried this might happen. You know he works for a pretty tough boss, don't you?
The look on my father's face. Look, I've got to get out of here.
You open your mouth and the only way you get out of here is in a box.
What?
Joe's always been one to put business before pleasure. He doesn't muck around. Now, if you open your mouth just once, it'll be shut for good.